once the complaint gets filed with the circuit court, there are X number of days during which the parties have in which to reply to the complaint?
That's correct.
And how many days is that?
It's usually 21 days.
21 days. So presumably the chair of the BZA would be served with the complaint, or
That's
he
correct.
would circulate it to the rest of the members of the board?
The chair will be served, and I would imagine would circulate it, particularly if you ask him to.
Which we will. And we then, so there's 21 days from when the complaint's filed in which to issue a response. Could the BZA hold a special meeting to discuss whether we want to have representation or whether we're wanting to allow the appellant's counsel to carry the load?
Mr. Goodell, I might suggest that if you do have specific questions about this, you can contact the city attorney, and we can figure out what the BZA might want to do in that regard.
We'd have to meet it in the public forum pursuant to the Sunshine Law.
Correct, yeah.
I believe there's some precedent from the training I've had that the board can go into an executive session for the purpose of discussing its options and
There are exemptions.
concerning an appeal.
There are exemptions to the open meeting rules for certain matters that you can go into executive session for. I don't necessarily want to make an opinion right now as to what matters those are and whether, litigation is typically something that falls into that category, but I would prefer for you to have a conversation with the city attorney about that.
Certainly will. Go ahead.
Roy Shannon for the appellants. One of our concerns would be the consultation with the city attorney, since it's obviously an adversarial proceeding once it gets appealed up to the circuit court. I would look at the BZA as a lower court in this situation where an opinion's going up in their ruling is being challenged. However, because it's an administrative body acting in judicial capacity, I think it would be appropriate if the BZA, if they sought counsel, maybe even for the, just to get counsel on whether or not they need to be engaged in the appeal or not engaged at all. I think that would be appropriate. But again, the appellants would have an issue if you have to go to the opposing counsel to seek consultation about what you need to do. So, I mean, it would be our position that BZA should, whether it goes to the city manager and asks for funds, retain counsel, even if it's just for the limited scope to determine what your role is in this proceeding going forward.